tech, it could be used in a variety of areas. But the idea was that to bring together sort of a broad range of stakeholders. In some ways, these workshops have a little flavor of that, although these can be much larger. To take an opportunity to talk about what really matters, what are our goals and visions for the region, and to come up with action strategies. Out of this, just as an example again, that came out of the Marin Summit in 2002 were a range of strategies that really had this kind of broad buy-in. Some of these were things referred to actions that private industry would take. Some of these were things that were actions that county government would take. And particularly the sort of number 2 here is proactive policy and planning. We'll talk about a little bit about what is that proactive policy and planning. A series of action items, and draw your attention to the second bullet in terms of thinking about the general plan and land use and ways that if there's a shared goal and value, say in this case of preserving agriculture, what are the kinds of county policies that are going to be needed to be in alignment? And a lot of this kind of planning that happens, it's not success is not just in what the individual pieces are, but in the alignment, in the connection. So you're not kind of doing one thing in your, say, workforce development, another thing in your economic development, another thing in your land use, but how can they really be working together? And that's much easier said than done, but it is the sort of the watchword of communities and counties where success is happening. Another kind of resource in addition to this model of these summits are trainings around particular skills. Conflict resolution is one, and just to be to recognize that Mendocino County is not different than a lot of other counties, and that there are conflicts over land use, there are conflicts over what the future is going to be, and those play out in a variety of ways, and that's okay. I mean, that's just the nature of community life, and there are certain kinds of skills, certain kinds of processes that can be useful to kind of work with those issues. UC Extension, which is different from cooperative extension. I don't know why they give the same name, but in any case, it's the continuing professional education branch of the university, offers trainings for public employees, private sector as well, and it has a special program on agricultural mediation, which is really beyond just production, but kind of rural community natural resource issues. And those are classes that take place in the Davis area, but also can be on site places such as Mendocino. The other kind of resource is training on land use. By the way, you all have the packets in your packets. These full flyers. The kinds of issues that places like Mendocino are facing around land use, urban development design are complex. There are all of these kinds of dynamic pressures, and there are resources that can be used to kind of bring other kinds of models, bring other kinds of skills, bring other kinds of kind of expertise to bear. And these again are trainings that are both on site in particular areas throughout the state, as well as in the Davis area that you can take advantage of. Okay, so thinking about the ways that counties can help be a promoter and a champion for these unique strengths, and this sort of grow your own model of economic development. Again, drawing from my colleague, Ellie Rilla, there's been some terrific work done, and I know that she actually presented, I don't know if anyone on the board was at that meeting, but through Glenn Holstein a couple months ago to a variety of tourism and hospitality-oriented businesses here. There's a lot of work being done about how to promote agricultural and nature tourism. And they have a great guidebook that you can get, and then they also do trainings to promote those kinds of businesses. One example where that's been taken to the next step in Placer County is the actual hiring of a position of an ag marketing director. And that person manages this agricultural marketing partnership of the different growers, has a terrific website, a variety of promotional events, and really draws in, creates a market that's not just local, but really is regional. And that's something that can be done in Mendocino. Some other examples: Plumas County, the Plumas County Visitors Bureau, and also nonprofit, which is essentially the county's economic development agency, Plumas Corporation, does some really great work around promoting the natural assets of the county through tourism related activities. In Sierra County, next to it, they have the Barnes Birds and Barbecue. Yolo County, the combines, bovines, and fine wines. You got to be playful with this stuff. Economic development can be, pretty